Welcome back to Great North Gaming. It's great to have you here with us today, and it's time to start up our brand new franchise mode here on NHL 26 with the New York Rangers. Yes, so we are taking our skills after Vancouver to the south of the border to the big city of New York to fix this franchise and restore it back to the greatness that it once was. It's crazy with this team, with this franchise. From 2010 to 2017, they made the playoffs every single year, 7 years straight, with a trip to the Stanley Cup final, losing to the Ottawa Senators. Then they retooled for a couple years, making it to the playoffs in 2019-20, but losing to the Carolina Hurricanes in the COVID-shortened year. They didn't make the playoffs in 2021. But then in 21-22, after retooling the team, they made it all the way to the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference Finals, losing to the eventual Stanley Cup champions in the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then, the next year they lose out in the first round. So after those 2 years, they start to tear down the team. The next year they make it to the Western Conference Finals again, but then the following year they don't make the playoffs, and then this year is an absolute disaster after trading Panarin. They're saying they're retooling, but this team has been an absolute disaster. So we are here to restore this franchise to greatness. So let's go through the settings here for our franchise mode. So we did the little brief summary of the team here, so everyone has context to the team. But so the rules, injuries are going to be on. We set the gameplay sliders to 15 out of 100. Period length 20-minute superstar. All that's the same. The sim engine scoring is medium, draft class quality high, generated prospects high, trade difficulties on medium. I feel like the trades are hard enough. And yes, I kept on player morale. So I thought it'd be interesting to play with player morale. I haven't played with morale in an NHL game for so long. So I want to try it out with this franchise mode and see if we can get a little bit more realistic to real life. So let's see. So I already went through the team and kind of, the damage has already been done with this team. Like, we don't have Artemi Panarin anymore. All the rosters are up to date from the trade free. So he's on LA, so he's gone. So we're pretty much committed to the retool rebuild this year, which is okay. So the plan is, so we can go through the team here. So we have Igor Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick. So we have one of the best goaltenders, if not the best goaltender in the league. In the system, we don't really have anyone coming up, so we will need to be looking at that for in the draft, because Shesterkin's 29, so we have him locked up for this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's got 8 years, or 8 or 9 years left on his deal. Does it say here? Yeah, 8 years left at 11.5, so he's locked up on this team. Defensively, Adam Fox, one of the best defensemen in the NHL. Obviously not good enough to make Team USA. I'm not going to complain about that. Leave Adam Fox at home. Take JT Miller any day. Kavrikov, another kind of aging out defenseman, $7 million. That's kind of a large cap hit, but a no movement clause, so that might be hard to move off of. Brandon Schneider, a young right-handed defensive defenseman, so that's a good player of the future. And then our defensive core kind of drops off here, so we're going to have to look at rebuilding our defensive core. Taking a look at didn't take a look at the system. Do we have any defensive prospects down here? We have Emery, so we have one defensive prospect, EJ Emery. Then some top 6 guys. Right wingers, Lucas Greentree, so he just came over from the LA Kings. Hopefully he can be a good player for us. Brodziak, Radish. See, we don't really have much depth here on the forward. Matt Rempe. Definitely want to try to grow this guy. See if we can turn him into a beast 4th line, like maybe penalty killer. He's 23, medium bottom 6, so if we play him, maybe he can grow. In the system, Perot, good prospect here, 78 overall playmaker. So some good futures here. Left wingers, Lafreniere. So a former first round pick back in 2020, first overall, I should say. This guy's had it really rough. So, it looked like he was breaking out, especially in the playoffs. He had some really good playoffs numbers, back in 23-24, 14 points in 16 games in that season, 57 points in 82 games. But then he dropped off last year, and he's continuing to drop off this year. So hopefully we can grow this guy. I still have hope that we can grow him. Will Cooley, power forward, looks like probably a good second liner there. Bedard, maybe a depth scoring piece, maybe a trading asset. In the system, we have Malcolm Spence, a power forward, medium top 6, some high top 9s, but nothing too crazy. Center depth in the system, we have no one. And in the system, so we have Vinny Trocheck, Zibanejad, Laba, Carrick, and yes, JT Miller. This is trade candidate number 1. We need to get this guy off of our team right away. He is a cancer in the locker room. We need to move him ASAP. So I already kind of have the plan for this team. So I don't want to tear it down and be bad, because when you have players like Igor Shesterkin and Adam Fox, I want to win with these guys. It takes so long in this game to get a 93 and a 92 overall defenseman to grow those guys from the draft. So I want to try to win with these guys. So what I'm okay with doing is we're going to retool this team this year, but with the goal of making the playoffs next year. So we're going to move off of players like Mika Zibanejad, Vincent Trocheck, JT Miller, so maybe some of our defensive prospects here, or defensemen like Gavrikov, and we're going to retool this team with a younger team to build around Shesterkin and Adam Fox and like Brandon Schneider and all of our young guys moving forward. So this year I'm okay with missing the playoffs, maybe even tanking to try to get a top draft pick in this draft, because it is a very deep draft. But then the next year, we need to be back in the playoffs and be competitive with players like Adam Fox and Shesterkin not getting any younger. The time to win is now. So I'm okay with taking 1 year off. So the damage is done here. So let's fix this the right way, draft well, and rebuild well. So we have some business we want to take care of right away. So our first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fire our coaching staff. Mike Sullivan is not a good coach. He should have never been hired as the coach for the New York Rangers. So Mike Sullivan, you are fired. Thank you very much for your services. We are going to be firing our entire coaching staff, and we are going to be hiring some new coaching staff right away. So we can interim NHL head coach, NHL associate coach, and you could be the AHL head coach. Okay. So we're going to hire some coaches right away. So let's take a look at who's available for some coaching staff. We want to get younger with this team, so let's screw with this team right away, okay? And let's go for a top draft pick, build up our young players this year, tank, build up the young players, and come back stronger for next year. So let's take a look at who's available for coaches. All right, so taking a look at who's available for coaches. So Tolskanen does decent scheme fit here, but we want to find a guy that works well with Shesterkin and Adam Fox. So let's look at NHL associate coaches here. Someone a little bit younger, but that has good teaching and good base stats. C minus, B, C, A minus, B, C. I think let's go with this guy here. He's 45 years old. Bob Lavelle. Wesley Bob Lavelle. You know, he has good teaching at A minus, so we want to make sure he has that. So let's hire him. I don't know how the scheme fit is. 62, so that's pretty good. So NHL head coach. I want you to be my NHL head coach for the next couple years. We'll pay you 1.8. We'll give you a cool $2 million. It's expensive to live here in New York, so we'll make sure you're getting paid. Now, let's take a look at another associate coach here. But for, this guy here to run our power play and PK. So NHL associate coach. See. Yeah. So we'll pay him 1.7 million. And then we want we'll do another associate coach here with some good teaching there. Michelle Daslavie, I love it. NHL assistant coach, we'll give you 1.5 million. We got a 1.591. I don't like that number. 5.76750. There you go. So that's our coaching staff taken care of. Is there any goalie centric? Goalies, teaching. Perfect. We'll bring you in as the NHL goalie coach. We'll give you $1 million there. So we'll wait on those guys there. So we'll advance a day. Coach Ray Emerson. Yeah, you're not going to be the coach. Season goal. There's no expectations. Preseason focus. Let's make sure we are. Let's focus on conditioning. Let's make sure everyone's. I want a quick, speedy team here. So let's see if we can get these coaches. Bob Lavelle's signed. Oh, we got to get Leduc signed. Okay, coaching staff. Associate coach, yeah, you need to go. So now we need to hire Leduc here. NHL associate coach. We are paying him 1.75, right? Perfect. And then let's take a look at our AHL. Riley. $972. AHL associate coach. Let's make sure our young guys are going to be good. I want lots of good teaching. Just an AHL assistant coach here. Perfect. Oh. AHL goalie coach. Oh my God. Gonna get all these coaches hired. All right. I think our AHL staff should be okay because we're going to be bringing up a lot of our young guys. Demote to the AHL goalie coach. AHL assistant coach, AHL head coach. Perfect. So our coaching staff is taken care of for the year. So let's go to the roster moves. Actually, so let's do the first thing here. Let's talk to JT Miller. Player conversation. Clause options. Perfect. There's a team that he wants to be traded to. Where do you want to be traded to? Let's get this done and over with right away. He wants to go to Chicago. Okay, let's go send him to play with Connor Bedard. Okay, Chicago Blackhawks. JT Miller. So I definitely want to try to get something back for him. But we're not going to get back too much because I think JT Miller's value is going to be a little bit low. But I think I would want to bring back a defenseman. Krasinski. Kevin Krasinski. That would be great. Another great player to bring back. So let's do that. Kevin Krasinski. And Wagner. I could use a center prospect. Moore. Oliver Moore. Let's try to get this guy too. Oliver Moore and Krasinski for JT Miller. Will it go through? Trade accepted. Perfect. I don't think we fleeced the computer. The computer liked it there, but we needed to get JT Miller off this team here. Make more roster moves, yeah. So let's take a look at our team. So Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick, that's fine. Defenseman, Fox, Schneider, Gavrikov, Bjorgen, Susi, Krasinski. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Luvanov, Morrison, Morrow, and Robertson. Yeah, I don't need you guys. Send you guys down to the AHL. Forward core, Green Tree. Yeah, you can go. Do we want to play Green Tree this year? Get him some experience. Actually, I think he would do better for a year down in the CHL, so that's okay. So let's edit our lines here. You know, we can try to bite the bullet right away and see if Zabinajad and Trocheck want to wave, and then we can just move off of them right away, build up and play our young core here, and just completely tank this year. I think that's the move here. Trocheck we can wait on because he has the modified, but Zabinajad, I hate to do it, my man. Zabinajad doesn't want to move yet, so we'll have to wait for him. And what about Gavrikov? Okay, Gavrikov would want to move. I think I want to do that because I want to get that cap hit off the team. Yeah, 7x7, we got to move that. He wants to go to Toronto? Okay. Toronto. Gavrikov. Okay, that would kind of make sense. They want to give up Danford. We got Danford in our last franchise mode, but he can grow pretty well. Let's do a Ben Danford in there. Is there anyone else? Ooh, Miroslav Holenka. I'd like to try to grow him. He's sick. High tops 9. Let's get a Miroslav Holenka in there. All right, Gavrikov for Ben Danford and Miroslav Holenka will go through. It will. Can we get a little bit more? Say, can we get a third in there? Still gonna go through. Third and a fifth. No. Okay, that was getting a little greedy. We'll take the third, though. So Gavrikov, Holenka, Gavrikov for Ben Danford, Holenka, and a third. Perfect. Yeah, we are retooling this team here. Yeah, people are not happy, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vanoff. Scott Morrow can come up. Okay, so this year is going to suck, but we've gotten some young defensemen back, and now we're going to build up our forward core. So let me take care of the roster moves and the edit lines, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, boys, so we went ahead and edited the lines here. This year is all about the young guns. So first line is going to be Alexis Lafreniere, Vincent Trocheck, and Brett Bedard. Or Bedard, I forget how to say that, but we're going to try to grow him. Second line is going to be Gabe Perreault, Mika Zibanejad, and Will Cooley. Third line is going to be Brennan Othman, Oliver Moore, and Matthew Rempe. Fourth line is going to be Taylor Radish, Nolan Laba, and Johnny Brodziak. Defensively, Kroczynski and Adam Fox, AJ Emery and Brandon Schneider, and Morrow and Bjorgen. The power play 1, we're going to go to Zibanejad, Trocheck, Lafreniere, Fox, and Kroczynski. The second power play is going to be all the young guns: Moore, Cooley, Perreault, Bedard, Morrow. Penalty killers, first line is going to be Trocheck and Rempe. Second line is going to be Zibanejad and Cooley. And third line is going to be Laba and Lafreniere. And then in the cage, we have Shesterkin and Will Cooley. Our scratch players are going to be Carson Soucy, Connor Sheary, and Sam Carrick. So, with that all being said, I think we can hop into the regular season here. I think we're all set to go. We don't need to do any season goals with our players. I just want them to grow. Actually, like, if we go here, season goal, long-term, stat challenge. Yeah, let's see if you can score 20 goals this season. So I'm going to do some coaching conversations here with our young players, try to boost them up, and we'll be back with the start of the regular season. Alrighty, boys, so coaching conversations are done. Let's get this simulation started. Let's take a look at the first month here. We are not making any trades right now. We'll look at making some trades at the trade deadline, but we're not looking to make any trades right away. Besides that JT Miller and the Gavrikov trade, because I wanted to get those out of the way. But not the best, not a great start to the season. 0-4. We won our first game against the Leafs. All right, we got a couple wins here. But, you know, we're going for that first overall pick this year. We're trying to get a good draft pick. Mika Zibanejad's been injured. We can just replace the player. It's not too long, and we're We're trying to not make the playoffs this year. We're trying to tank for McKenna or one of the top draft picks. You know, if we can get somewhere in the top 3, I'd be really happy. Mika Zibanejad's back in there. Thank you, Sam Carrick, but we will get Mika back in there. Hopefully he doesn't get injured again. 5-12-1 to start the season here. Not the greatest start to the year, but this is what's needed in order to build this team back up for next year. We're going to have a really bad year, bottom out this year, and by next year we will be back in the playoffs. That is my commitment to the fans of the New York Rangers. Next year there will be playoff hockey in New York. Now that's a big mountain to climb, but we can do it. We have the core pieces here. We can build the team, you know, we have some young players that are developing this year, some young players that are being injured or played down in the AHL, that are developing, like Miroslav Holenka, Ben Danford, Liam Greentree, Kevin Krochinski's been injured. Just replace a player, that's okay. We're not even at 10 wins on the season. Oh, there we go. We hit 10 wins. Kevin Krochinski's back in there. So let's go to our defensive core. Connor Sheary's been playing defense. Whew. Rough there. And Emery's still out, right? Yeah. So that's okay. We'll get Emery back in there once he's back. 10, 24, and 5 for the New York Rangers. RJ Emery is back. Let's get him back in there. These are really quick injuries this year because I don't have to edit the lines, really. It's just replacing the player, which is super nice. EJ, don't get injured again. Best lines down in the AHL. Yep. He got injured. That MCL is hurting him. 11, 26, and 5 for your New York Rangers. Best lines down in the AHL, that's okay. I'm not trading any of my top guys. We are sellers. $12, 27, and 13, 27, and 5 now. We're on a 2-game winning streak, but it doesn't matter. We are so far gone. So we'll look at moving off of Trocheck and Zibanejad at the trade deadline here. And see if we can recoup some more assets here, some more young players to build up for next year. But it's looking like we should have very good odds at the first overall pick this year. At least we're kicking the New York Islanders' butt this year. That's what we wanted. EJ Emery's back. Don't get injured again, my man. You've had a rough year. I'm not even bothering looking at the stats. We can... Holy cow, EJ Emery is out till March 1st. We got to stop putting that guy back in. So we got the trade deadline coming up here. So we'll get up to the trade deadline. We'll see. We can take a look at the stats, see who's performing, how our young guys are performing. And then we will hop into the trade deadline, try to move off as Zibanejad and Trocheck, and we'll build up this team for next year. This team will be a good team next year. Just need to bottom out for a year. We have a good draft class this year, so... But I don't want to get, like, more draft picks. Like, EJ, you're going to stay out for a little bit. I want you to rest up. We'll get you in back after the trade deadline, because You have just keep getting hurt all year long. I want you to heal that up nicely. So let me get EJ Emery back in there, and we'll be right back with the player stats. All right, taking a look at the player stats here. So Trocheck, 46 points in 61 games. Lafreniere, almost at 40 points. He's he's on pace for his best year yet. Zibanejad, Cooley, Perot's having a pretty good year. Bedard, he might hit his 20 goal. I set him to try to get 20 goals this year. Yeah, these guys aren't performing super great, but you can't expect too much. Fox is killing it. Morrow, Schneider, Krasinski, Emery, 5 points in 31 games. Goaltenders, Shesterkin, not much you can do with the team in front of you. And where are we sitting in the NHL? We are last place in the NHL. Utah's not too far behind us, so let's hop into the trade deadline here, see if we can move off of Trocheck and Zibanejad and continue moving on. Okay, boys, so we're here in the trade deadline. So Trocheck. So let's do a fine trade here for Trocheck. No trades found. Okay. So let's take a look at where he wants to go. So he wants to go Bruins, Sabres, Hurricanes, Chicago, Colorado. Colorado would make sense. Let's look at Colorado. Vincent Trocheck. So we can... Who are you willing to give up here? Golovayev, another offensive defenseman. I don't need you. Right wingers. Ridley. He's playing in their NHL team, but Gavin Ridley. I have to take back some salary cap from them. They have Phil Kessel. What the heck? Left wingers. I don't know if there's anyone that I can take that has money off this team. How much would I have to retain here? I don't want to retain 50%. Okay, okay, down to 1.5 will go through. So Gavin Brindley and Logan O'Connor. So a good defensive player coming back. They're getting Vinny Trocheck, so that's a good move for them. So we're getting back two youngish players. And let's try to get their first for next year. So Vinny Trocheck for Brindley, O'Connor, and a first-round pick. Will it go through? Ooh, let's see if we can get a little bit more out of Colorado here. You know, let's try to get first and a second. Trocheck's a beast. That's still going to go through. Okay. Okay, so Vincent Trocheck for Gavin Brindley. A nice playmaker moving forward for us. Logan O'Connor fits into the window with Shesterkin and Fox there. Going to be a third or fourth liner for us. And then a first in 2 seconds for Vincent Trocheck. Bam. That's a good trade there for us. So Vincent Trocheck is off the team here. Mika Zibanejad. Do you want to go anywhere? Clause options. Very convincing. Okay, Mika, where do you want to go? Chicago, Penguins, San Jose. Let's do a San Jose. That kind of makes sense. Add to that young core there. Liljegren, 81-26. Kiefer Sherwood. Let me get back to Kiefer Sherwood. And I can take back some salary cap too here for you guys. Okay, so we got to take back like a Skinner there. And then we got to send them another player here. I don't want to send you anyone here. Fitzgerald. There we go. Perfect. Now I need something else from them. I don't feel like that's a good trade for me. I wanted more assets back. I was like, Kiefer Sherwood's good. Let's take a look at Penguins. Penguins, what do you have to offer up? Card Raquel Novak, Russ Graves. Like, you guys can still push for the playoffs here. Novak, two-way forward. So a Novak for Zibanejad. We free up some cap space and another good player to bring onto that fourth line, third or fourth line. And then can we get 2 seconds? No, that's probably pushing it. 1 second. Zibanejad for Novak in a second. No, does Chicago want him? I know we already did a deal with Chicago, but Zibanejad, we might have to talk here. Oh, he's willing to waive. Thank you, Mika Zibanejad. So let's shop him around. Let's do a find a trade for Mika Zibanejad. See if anyone... No trades found. Okay. So let's take a look who wants him. Carolina, that would make sense. I don't want to trade him really in division. LA to add to their center core. I don't know if that would get done. Minnesota. Do they have any cap space to take back? What if I took back a Tarasenko? No. New Jersey. Do you have any bad cap on this team that you might want to clear up? Ooh, a Dawson Mercer. Yeah, I'll take back some salary cap here. No sin, no. Bjugstad. Sure, I can take that back. Perfect. Okay, what do I have to retain so you're not over the salary cap? $1.225. Okay. What about $1 million? No. Okay, 1.225. Dawson Mercer for Mika Zibanejad. Get some draft picks back as well. Okay, let's see if that will go through. Mika Zibanejad for Dawson Mercer. A second and a fourth. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Far too off. Just a second. Perfect. That's going to go through. We will take that. So Zibanejad, Trocheck is off the team here. We're not going to be able to make any more trades right now because we just don't have the salary cap. We're basically at the floor right now. So that's going to be it for the trade deadline here. So team is completely in shambles here after the trade deadline here. So we'll take a look at the lines here. Let me edit the lines. We'll be right back. Alrighty, guys. So I got the lines edited. Oh, Igor Shesterkin's been injured with an injury. Perfect. Let's lose even more games here. So we edit the lines. It really doesn't matter. Like, all the players are, like, our lines are not pretty at all. Like, we can even just, actually no, because we got Perot and stuff in there, but it's not looking very pretty at all. Martin and Quick. So, that's our team for the year there. Sorry, I started simming without recording there, but that's okay. It's not going to be a pretty end to the season here. 18-41-7 here. Absolute garbage year. Maybe we get to 20 wins on the season here. There we go, 19 wins. Yeah, it's time for this team to retool properly. We got Shesterkin, and we have Fox to build around. Those two guys are going to be our workhorses moving forward. We hit 20 wins on the season. There we go, boys. Like, this team's like an AHL team at best with Adam Fox, pretty much, and a couple NHL players. But there we go, a couple wins on the season there to give our fans something to cheer for. Dallas, Florida, Tampa to end off the year. What a best lines down the AHL. Igor is back. So we'll send out Martin there. Hopefully no one claims them on waivers. Best lines. We're basically 2 games done here. Alrighty. So 23-50-9 for your New York Rangers in the first year. We tore it down, but that's okay. So Adam Fox, point leader. Lafreniere, Mercer. Bedard didn't hit 20 goals. Yeah, none of our guys really did too well here. That's okay. They got the experience in the NHL. That's all that matters. And then we'll take a look at who was last in the NHL. We were last by a pretty good margin there. And then first in the NHL, the Vegas Golden Knights, 115 points. My God. That is insane. And let's take a look at the points leaders for the NHL. I know we're not going to be hidden anywhere on this list here. David Pastrnak is the point leader. Goals is going to be Nathan McKinnon. Goalies, most wins was Aiden Hill. Aiden Hill is going to be the Vezina Trophy winner. So, a very successful year. Alrighty, guys. So, end of the season here. The playoffs have started. There's your playoff matchups: Vegas versus Seattle, Chicago versus St. Louis, LA versus Edmonton for what, the fifth year in a row, Colorado versus Winnipeg, Florida versus Detroit, Tampa versus Toronto, Carolina versus Philly, and Washington versus the New York Islanders. So, that's going to be it for this one here. We're going to get the draft and the off season done in the next video. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If there's any moves that we should be making, what you think about the retool, if we should be moving off of that, and Adam Fox and Igor Shesterkin. I think we should be building around these guys. I think we can bounce back next year and make the playoffs. So that's going to be it for this one here. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know down in the comments what you think about this team. And until next time, peace.